Now to New York, where a manhunt is still underway this afternoon for the gunman who shot and killed UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
The 50-year-old was fatally shot early Wednesday morning as he was walking toward a midtown hotel to attend a conference.
Police say the shooter appeared to be lying in wait, leading them to believe this was a targeted attack, although a motive has not yet been identified.
All right, joining us now live from Manhattan is Court TV legal correspondent Kelly Craft. Kelly, great to see you. Now, we know that police have released new information about the suspect, more and more information being released by the hour. What are we learning?
Well, police are saying now, 3 days into the manhunt, that they believe the suspect has left New York City. So the new information that we have is we got on that bike, so we knew about that. He went through Central Park, exited Central Park. Eventually, he gets into a cab on the Upper West Side, goes to the Port Authority Bus Center near 178th and Broadway. Police are working to figure out which bus he then got on. But the big development is that they believe, they've said today, that he has left New York City. You're taking a look at images of the suspect. This is from the hostel. Police are saying that while he was at the hostel he was staying at, it's called the High New York Hostel on the Upper West Side, he was kind of having a flirtatious encounter with the woman who was working there, and she asked him to pull his mask down because she said to him, "Let me see that pretty smile." He then pulled his mask down, and that is the image that police say is going to be very helpful, is very crucial to them in their search for the suspect. That hostel, that's the hostel he was staying at, that High New York Hostel on the Upper West Side. He was staying there before the shooting. The mayor of New York City, he spoke today to CNBC. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Every New Yorker and American to look at the picture, the photo, and to assist us. If you know him, if his face looks familiar, please reach out to our law enforcement agencies here or your local law enforcement agencies so that we can bring this person to justice.
And authorities have said they believe they are getting close to apprehending the suspect.
Ah, interesting. New updates. Tell us more, though, what we know about the suspect's movements before and after the shooting, Kelly.
Well, Judge Ashley, we went around and retraced his steps throughout New York City just to see how he went about accomplishing the shooting. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We are outside the New York Hilton in Midtown. Police say that Brian Thompson, he was coming into this hotel for a conference, an investor conference. But 5 minutes prior, police are saying that the suspect, the man who gunned him down, was standing right out here on this very sidewalk. He was waiting for his target, and then he spotted him. He began to follow him. He got behind him, got about 20 feet from him, and then opened fire, shooting him in the back. Then he got closer and shot him in the calf. Police say after the shooting, the suspect fled on foot, coming through this alleyway between 54th and 55th, and then turning right onto 6th Avenue. Police say the suspect may have left his hostel on the Upper West Side, coming here, riding the subway to the 57th Street Station F. Sometime after getting off the subway, police say the suspect came here to this Starbucks. Surveillance video obtained by the Washington Post shows the suspect buying bottled water and 2 power bars. This was before the shooting. And that water bottle that I mentioned in that alleyway, which is really a plaza, that's where they found some other key evidence in this case. They found that discarded water bottle that they believe the suspect purchased from that Starbucks, as well as a wrapper from one of those protein bars. So very important information, and the new development out of today, out of here in New York City, authorities are saying that they believe he has left New York City. Michael, Judge Ashley, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Kelly Craft, for your great live reporting.
All right. Let's bring in our guest for this hour, joining us, trial and family law attorney Michelle Thomas. Michelle, I want to get your thoughts on this. Initially, I thought maybe this was a professional hit, and I'm not so sure I still believe that, but I do believe this person planned this out. I think they knew what they were going to do. I think they had their modes of transportation already in their mind, how they were going to make this escape, and now they're saying maybe he's even left New York.
Yeah, good afternoon to you both, and thanks so much for having me. There's no doubt, Michael, that this was a premeditated attack. on this UnitedHealthcare CEO. I mean, when you look at the fact that he was there for 10 days, essentially staking out the place, the city, learning the ins and outs, identifying the exact location of where he needed to be, where he needed to place his getaway vehicle, which at this point is a bicycle. There's no doubt that this was very thoughtful and thought out. So the problem I have is I think it's remarkable that there has been no conclusive identity as of yet. The problem is that sends a message to other people that it was just too easy. So I'm really hopeful that they are able to identify this person and bring him to justice very soon, because it's inconceivable that so much time has already passed without the person having been identified.
I would agree with that. And I just have to say, I think that maybe they know his identity. They just haven't released that. I think at this point they must. But, I agree that it seems like it was very planned out. But my question, Michelle, is I think his escape may have been that well planned out, because to your point, this happened Wednesday morning, Friday evening now. They still haven't caught him. And he took a cab to the Port Authority bus center. They don't know which bus he took. They don't even know if he took a bus, quite frankly. They don't know where he is, at least as far as we know. So to me, maybe this is a very smart individual who planned his escape as well as he planned his attack.
He definitely put thought into it in order to essentially get out of New York City without having been captured after killing this person like that in public. But that being said, at first initially, Michael, I thought that this was a professional hitman. But then as we've learned more, the fact that he did pull his mask down to flirt with a woman and showed his face publicly. There was, I think, fingerprints on a water bottle from Starbucks. I mean, those are the kinds of actions that are not from a professional. So I'm hopeful that he will continue to make those kinds of missteps that will bring him to justice.
Yeah, wouldn't it be something if he gets caught? And I think he will be caught because he pulled that mask down, trying to flirt with someone. Something as simple as that could end up being his real downfall. The other thing, I want to pull up a picture here of what is said to have been on the casings of the bullets that he shot this CEO with. And it's interesting because those are words that we know. And I think it was something to the effect of deny, delay, and depose. Right?
Deny, depose, and defend. I think those were the three things on the bullets.
Now, we know, and there it is, here are the words on a book that is really critical of the insurance industry. And online, Michelle, not surprisingly, he's become a little bit of a cause celeb. A lot of people, of course, not happy with their coverage. I got to read this because I thought it was hilarious. Yeah. This is just indicative of some of the comments I've seen. Someone says, "I would gladly help look for the killer, but vision isn't covered in my plan." I mean, that's just indicative of what we're seeing here. So your thoughts on the fact that this guy might become a bit of a martyr?
Yeah, I mean, it does suggest that he is thought he was speaking out on behalf of all those persons who have been denied claims. We don't know if that was his situation or someone died that was close to him as a result of denied claims. But clearly there was an indication here that there was anger toward the healthcare industry. Now, my concern is whether those words were sort of planted as a decoy to sort of divert the authorities and investigators from the actual culprit and sort of send them down this path. So because it's so deliberate and so obvious. My question was whether that was an intentional effort to try to evade authorities or confuse authorities, or whether this is someone who was very angry about the healthcare system and wanted to do something about it publicly.
Not only that, but I wonder if he planted things like the Starbucks water bottle that they found that had DNA on it. There's just something to me that doesn't yet hit. And I think it's because he hasn't been caught, and it sounds pretty hard. And so I want to talk to you, Michelle, and Michael, let me ask you quickly. I said, okay, have they not caught him? They know he went into the Port Authority, he hasn't left, but you said that's a big facility that somewhere easily somebody could disappear if they want to.
Yeah, as a person who lived in New York for the first 30 years of my life, that Port Authority building, I mean, it is a place where there's a lot of nooks and crannies, a lot of places to hide, lockers, there are bathrooms, there are little nooks and crannies where you can hide. So it doesn't surprise me that if he's in there, and it's always crowded. I don't care what time of the day or night, there's always a lot of people. So I can understand why they might not have caught him right there.
And you have to think about, yes, this is huge news all over the nation. People are watching, but it doesn't mean every single person that you see in a crowded facility is going to be aware of it and say that's him. Michelle, what about the fact that in this case, I lost my train of thought because I was talking about that piece. But do you think when they say we're close, or they announce we think we're close in identifying or apprehending him, do you think that's the case, or do you think sometimes we just don't get all of the information that law enforcement wants to hold close?
We definitely don't have all the information here. I mean, I think it is hard to know how much the authorities know. Do they know that he left New York City? And if he did, where did he go? Do they know where he went? Do they know the mode of transportation? And to Michael's point, I'm from New York as well, and that Port Authority, it is so massive. It's really difficult to determine exactly where this one particular individual would have gone. So it's hard to know what they're disclosing to the public, whether they're sending messages to try to signal to people to help. I mean, I think that remains to be seen, but we'll find out based upon how much longer it takes to capture this person.
Yeah. And sometimes we've seen in other cases where police have actually said they say things like that to see if they can force the person into mistakes.
Yes,
right? Get them
yeah,
a little bit
and that's
up.
what it feels
Yeah.
like in this case,
That might
right?
be the
They know a
case.
lot more than we do. And
No
we'll see what
question about
happens.
it.